My mom and dad, Bob and Janet Gaudelli, instilled the belief in me from a very young age, and my siblings, that anything was possible. You could dream of the biggest dream if you were willing to put in the work. And I believed them, and I believed it would happen. And I just have to say, there's really no greater gift you can give a child than getting them to believe, along with making sure they graduate college debt-free, which they also made happen for me and my brother and two sisters. And speaking of them, Amory and Robert and Janice, they've always been in my corner, as has my Aunt Maria. So it was just a wonderful blessing to be in a family as loving and as supportive, and that really made you believe anything could happen. Then there are the people that have to make that sacrifice so we can go out every single weekend and do our games and have our fun. And at the top of that list is my daughter Reese, who brings me nothing but joy every single day of my life, and without a doubt is the best thing that's ever happened to me, and nothing's ever going to top it. So I thank her. I thank my girlfriend Maria, really my soulmate, not even my girlfriend, the most loving, caring, selfless person I've ever met. And I just thank God for all these blessings. It all begins with the family. My career began in the mailroom at ESPN in 1982. We were all a bunch of young kids, half clueless, 100% fearless, learning as we earned. And fortunately, we were raised by Hall of Famers Scotty Connell and Bill Fitz, two amazing leaders who had to be scratching their heads on a daily basis how they ended up with this crew. But they didn't. They were selfless. They set out to teach us television. And ESPN isn't the place it is today if those two guys weren't there at the very beginning. And as we learned, new leaders emerged: Steve Bornstein and George Bodenheimer, Steve Anderson, Terry Lingner, John Wildhack, Jed Drake, John Walsh. I thank all of them for their guidance, their support, and really their belief in me. After a year at ESPN, starting in that mailroom, I kind of knew I wanted to be a producer, and I set a pretty lofty goal that by the time I was 40, I'd either be producing the World Series or the Super Bowl. And for the next 18 years, every decision I made was really with that goal there. So I turned down promotions, obviously more money, but I wanted to stay in the chair and give my dream a shot, and that's what I did. And while I was working on that dream, I had the opportunity to work with the very best in front of and behind the camera. Mike Patrick and Joe Theismann were my first Sunday night team. They were joined by Paul McGuire a little bit later on. Working with them was a blast. 11 NFL drafts meant Chris Berman and Mike Tirico, Mel Kiper, Chris Mortensen, and my dear friend Andrea Kramer. College hoops with Dickie V, and the X Games with Chris Fowler and Susie Kolber. I thank all of them. And behind the camera, every bit as good. Chip Dean, my great friend Mark Titleman, Maura Matt, Rich Feinberg, Dan Steer, Jay Rothman, Tim Corrigan, Ed Placey, Tom Archer, Phil Dean, and Steve Turnberger. And of course, the extraordinary engineers and technicians who took all of our ideas and brought them to life. In 2001, between my 40th and 41st birthday, Howard Katz made my dream come true when he hired me to produce ABC's Monday Night Football and 2 Super Bowls. Howard has been such a great friend and advocate of mine, certainly one of the most influential people in my success. And aside from being the guy to pay me real money first, he's also the person who's given me the most honest, professional, and personal feedback, the kind of wisdom you only get from people who really care about you. And Howard, I thank you for all of that. I'd also like to recognize my Monday night colleagues: Mike Pearl, Bob Toms, Bob Brunlick, Mark Mandel, Valerie Fischler, Steve Hurt, Brian Gordon, Mike Martin, Chris Pfeiffer, Chris Mallory, Brian Matthews, and Jeff Dufine for their exemplary work at ABC. And as it often happens in our business, a show you love and work on inevitably leaves for greener dollars. And when Monday night left ABC, I really thought my career had peaked and I'd never work on another show that would match its significance for the American sports fan. That's what I believed. Then Dick Ebersol came to Baltimore on a cold December night, 5 nights before Christmas. He told me he had gotten permission from ABC to sit in my truck during the game, which I later found out he didn't. However, he did come with gift in hand, Sunday Night Football on NBC, and that changed my life. The 6 years we spent together were the absolute best and most fun of my career, doing big game after big game, learning from a master, working through the details of co-creating a TV dynasty. The gratitude I have for this man is endless. Dick is one of my dearest and closest friends and about the best mentor anyone can have. I love you, Dick. Well, Dick retired, and once again I'm thinking, well, maybe this is the back nine. Here it comes, and not even close. Mark Lazarus took over, and Sunday Night Football began at 10, soon to be an 11-year run as primetime television's #1 show. Mark's a great friend and really the kind of leader everyone should be fortunate to work for once in their career. Mark, I'll always be grateful for the way you've treated me and treated Reese. Thank you. For 7 years, my announce booth was Al Michaels and John Madden. No human being deserves to get that lucky. As a pure fan, they are my two all-time favorite announcers. Nobody describes the big moment like Al. He's proven it year after year on the biggest stages, and his calls are going to live forever in a variety of sports. Working with John was like getting a PhD in football, television, and life. He's the gift that keeps on giving, and like the Hall of Fame coach he is, he willed me to be better than I thought I could be. I'm thankful for the friendship I have with both of those guys. And under the banner of nothing lasts forever, John retired. And up stepped Chris Collinsworth. And let's face it, who wants to replace John Madden or be the first guy to do it? And Chris drew that straw and proceeded to win 7 straight Emmys and become a pal for life. Michelle Tafoya is the best sideline reporter the NFL's ever had, in my opinion, and the production, operations, and engineering crews at NBC have been magnificent. The story of Sunday Night Football and its success is really a company-wide story, from promotion and marketing and engineering and operations. And I could really name probably a couple of hundred people here tonight, but I'm going to decide to salute the people who have been on the show for all 16 years. So Vin Rayo and Charlie Vanacore, John Schlief, Ken Hurt, Wade Junko, Tim DeKime, John Roche, Mark DeChico, Audrey Mansfield, and Diana Solomon. I thank you, and I thank our current leaders, Chairman Pete Bavacqua, President of Production Sam Flood. And last, but certainly not least, the great Sunday Night Football technical crew, in my estimation, the best that's ever been assembled. And here's how much I love NBC. If this was Cooperstown right now, my hat would have a peacock on it. Kudos to the National Football League, Commissioner Gaudelli, the broadcasting department, all the team's PR directors, coaches, and players for all their time and support over the last 32 years. Special shout out to Joan Jett for letting me use I Hate Myself for Loving You, and for the crush I had on her in college. And her poster was on my dorm room wall. And big hugs to Pink, Faith Hill, and Carrie Underwood for rocking Waiting All Day for Sunday night. Finally, it's time to talk wingmen. Mark Payton and Drew Esikoff. One of those two has sat to my right for 35 years and put up with all of me, the good, the bad, and the inscrutable. If there was a Hall of Fame for tolerance, they'd be charter members. Somehow I drew a pair of aces whose styles and personalities were the perfect counterbalance to mine. In short, they're relaxed, laid back, and funny, and nice. I challenged them repeatedly, pushed them incessantly, and they always delivered. Mark and Drew are Hall of Fame directors without a doubt, but more than that, they're Hall of Fame friends and two people I absolutely love and cherish. And as I say goodnight, I want to thank the SVG for all you do to make our industry better. Congratulations to all the inductees, and once again, thank you all for this amazing honor.